Right. All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible enough. My
Yes, you are.
name, as has been, yeah, my name is Miss Letanjiri. I am the founding director of Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana. I'll be sharing my screen. Usually, it's not as an always that we talk to people about neurodiversity in the workplace. Usually, we are talking about phonics, reading skills, spelling, how to teach English. So I was excited. I'm always excited to talk about something that is outside our learning, like our daily, because teaching syllabification and other things is our daily, or structured literacy, that's our daily. So usually I teach about neurodiversity in the workplaces around our local government offices when we are celebrating our Neurodiversity Week. So I'm very excited to be in Tanzania tonight. Yes, my name is Letanjiri from Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana. I'll be sharing my screen with you. Please let me know if you are able to see.
No, we are not able to see yet.
Yeah, I'm on it. Are
We
you
can see
seeing
now.
it now?
Yes, we are.
You can't see anything?
We are seeing it now, Jiri.
All right, yes. As I was saying, my name is Letanjiri from Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana. I am the founding director of an NGO called Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana. Let me just let you know that the social support services is very, very intentional. We called it Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana as a very, very intentional name. The reason being that most of our vulnerable community members are the ones that usually stay for a very long time without receiving proper diagnosis. They are usually the ones that stay for a very long time without receiving proper diagnosis. Hence, our name is Dyslexia and Social Support Services Botswana. It is a very, very intentional name. What we do is we do advocacy, we do practical skills transfer. We have a remediation center that has got daily scholars or daily learners that are on remediation. We also do assessment. We also do awareness in general. Um, myself, I
Jiri,
myself, I am
Jiri, can I interrupt you there? Sorry, but
yes.
we can see slide 6, but not slide 1.
Slide. Oh, you are seeing slide 6.
Yes.
Let me remove this one.
If if you go to your presentation and press F5, that will help you.
Can you now see slide 2?
We can't see anything.
There's a problem. I can't see anything. Did I stop sharing? Okay. Right. Is this one? Or is this one? This is not the slide I want to show. This is a lot. Like,
Jiri, do you need me to help you?
let me just fix this. Then you can
Okay.
help.
Okay, no worries.
It's like I've made 3 presentations, and are you seeing something now?
We are seeing slide 6
No, right?
still on adjustments. We are on adjustment slide 6. We are not on slide 1.
Did I use in slide 6 there? Are you seeing slide 6 there? Slide 1,
Yes,
right?
yes. Thank you. Thank you. We are seeing slide 1 now.
All right. Yes. Yes. I was still talking about what we do as an organization. We do awareness, we do teacher capacitation, we do practical skills transfer, we do remediation. I was also saying that our social support services is a very intentional name because most of the vulnerable communities are the ones that remain undiagnosed. They are the ones that struggle throughout adulthood. Therefore, we've decided that most of our programs will be for the vulnerable members of the community. So we do practical skills transfer where we teach some of our learners skills like modeling, farming, things like that. We are not just limited to remediation. As we all know that our learning difficulties ranges from moderate to severe. For our very severe learners, we do practical skills transfer. So now a little about myself. My name is Letanjiri. I was just an accountant who had a dyslexic brother. I'll say briefly just my bio so that you understand. I was just an accountant who had a dyslexic brother. I was frustrated with the system. And then I did extensive research on learning difficulties. But after I conquered, I decided that I will help other people who are going through the same thing that my brother and I have gone through. So in Botswana, we have got private organizations that are currently helping learners who are having multiple disabilities, but we are the only NGO that is in Botswana that is helping specifically dyslexic learners. Do we have a question so far before I start my presentation?
Yes, Jiri, could you put your slides on presentation mode?
I'm sure somebody will do that so that I continue also because of
Yes.
my time. I
Yeah,
think
it's fine.
somebody here with me will do that. Yes, let's just get straight to the presentation. Today we are talking about neurodiversity. What is neurodiversity? Neurodiversity is specifically looking at neurodiversity in the workplace. What is neurodiversity? Can somebody try an attempt to to answer what neurodiversity is? Hello? Are we still
Yes,
together?
Jerry. Yes, we are
Yes.
together. Maybe anyone who wants to try? Okay, so just to save time, neurodiversity in a simple understanding is it's the way brains are made to function differently. Like neurodiversity, you'd say someone who is autistic, someone who has dyslexia, ADHD, they are neurodiverse. Their brains function differently from someone who is not neurodiverse. That's what I can say for now. Jiri.
Mm-hmm. I think we have got two words. We've got neuro, and then we've got diversity. All right, diversity. Okay, Eileen, is it Aileen or can you answer?
Alim, you're on mute.
Can you, Jiri, can you send me your presentation by email? I'll try to work it out from here.
All right, just drop your email.
Done it. And you continue, Jiri.
So neurodiversity is the differences in how our brains process information. So when we say somebody is neurodiverse, we are simply saying that the person thinks different from how we think. That is neurodiversity. So we are living in a world where some are considered to be neurotypical, some are considered to be neurodivergent, because we have systems that we have created as human beings that try to define how things are supposed to be done. And we need to embrace and accept that we were not made the same. Our brains do not process things the same, and we are neurodivergent. Neurodiversity is a term that has been developed by activists in the special education space, as they were trying to encourage people to see neurological differences in a different light. As we are all aware, I'm cruising through the presentation now. When human beings are born, they are not born with the ability to read and write. Human beings are not wired to read and write and spell, but rather they are wired to speak and listen. Writing and reading are man-made inventions, and therefore we cannot necessarily say that somebody has got a lifelong deficit simply because they cannot read, write, and spell. Hence, they are called specific learning difficulties or specific learning differences. It is because they affect a certain type of the part of the brain, but the person who has specific learning difficulties can still perform other things differently. So when we say that somebody is neurodiverse, we mean that the man-made inventions, which is reading, writing, and spelling, their brain somehow struggle to process those those man-made inventions. They cannot read, they cannot spell, they cannot write properly, but that does not stop them from doing other things properly. That's why we call them specific. They are specific in the sense that somebody may have a problem with math, somebody may have a problem with order, somebody may have a problem with writing, but they won't have a problem with maybe driving or building. So in the workplace, you would find that we have people that are neurodiverse in our workplaces. We have people that are neurodiverse in our workplaces. We have people that have got multiple difficulties. We've got those that have dyslexia. We've got those that have got dysgraphia. We've got those that have dyscalculia, dyspraxia, and those that have got
Can you
ADHD.
allow me to share?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
In the workplaces, we have different employees or people with different neurological differences. I am going to quickly rush through the different types of neurodiversities that you can see in the workplaces. So I was saying that we've got different specific learning difficulties being dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and dyspraxia, and ADHD. If you see the presentation, you'll see that ADHD is outside the circle because ADHD is not a specific learning difficulty, but it is a pervasive learning disorder that sometimes co-occur with the specific learning difficulties. It means that ADHD, unlike dyslexia and dysgraphia, does not affect a certain part of the brain. It may affect more than one area of the brain, and the person may not function properly in their daily living as opposed to specific learning difficulties. So it is a pervasive learning disorder. It's not a specific learning difficulty. So somebody that has got dyslexia in the workplace would be having difficulty with concentration. They'll be easily distracted. They'll be having problem with timekeeping. Sometimes they'll be having avoidance tactics when they are supposed to maybe present some work. They will avoid. They will look for avoidance tactics because sometimes they have difficulty in organizing their own data. When they are supposed to write, people who are dyslexic, they have usually bizarre spelling. They may be eloquent in speech, but they may struggle putting their thoughts in written form. In reading, they lack automaticity. They cannot read out loud confidently. They omit certain things when reading. You'll find that somebody that is dyslexic, whether it's at work, they can forget where they were reading and then make mistakes. But even though that is the case, dyslexic in the workplace usually show some strengths that some neurotypical people don't usually show. They have got practical problem-solving skills. They've got lateral thinking skills. They are able to see the big picture because of their inability to express themselves fully in written form and sometimes verbally. They are always looking for ways in which they can solve problems using their hands. Therefore, that is the strength that they have. That is why most of them are innovators. And then we have those that are having what we call dyspraxia. Having dyspraxia is like you are in a high stool with no back or arms. You are trying to keep balance such that you can't even listen to the instructor. People who have got dyspraxia struggle with the balance, they struggle with articulation, they struggle with speech, they struggle with organization and planning. Usually in the workplaces, people that have got dyspraxia are people who have poor posture. They are frequently fidgeting. They are always having awkward board movements. They take a very long time with forming friendships. Sometimes they've got a poor personal hygiene, or they show what we can say an immature behavior. The people usually they show an extreme of emotions. They can either be extremely excited or just angry in the workplace. If you know somebody with dyspraxia, you know that they are usually kind. Somebody with dyspraxia can come and hug you even when they didn't bath. They can come with dirty hands and try to embrace you. They also sometimes like pleasing people. They are very creative and they are very engaging. And then we have got people that may be having dysgraphia in the workplace. Dysgraphia is problems associated with handwriting. I must say that dysgraphia, although it's listed as a specific learning difficulty, but it's only listed on the DSM-4 of mental disorders. It's not there on the DSM-5 because of the diagnostic manual of the mental health states that the characteristics associated with dysgraphia, currently there is no standardized tool that properly diagnoses dyslexia, but dysgraphia. But dysgraphia is simply problems with difficulty with the writing. Usually people with dysgraphia have got untidy handwritings. They usually struggle to write properly. They cannot write within lines. They cannot express themselves fully in written form. So when you have people that have got dysgraphia in the workplace, these are people who will struggle the way we are struggling with this presentation, but they will be struggling to just type and write properly. They will also have some tactics because they will also always prefer to speak than to write their things. And then we have dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is extreme difficulties with mathematics or arithmetics. These are the people that in the workplaces, these are people that usually they will confuse directions. They will have difficulties with concepts. They take long to complete mathematical tasks. They've got problems with estimation. They have poor memory of math facts. They have struggles counting backwards. The people who have dyscalculia will struggle with the basic skills like money, budgeting, timekeeping, organizing, and understanding weight and measurements. This can have a serious effect if you are an employee. And then we have got those that have got the pervasive learning disorder that I was talking about. Actually, a behavioral disorder. It's not a learning. It's not a learning disability. It is a behavioral disability that sometimes co-occurs learning difficulties, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. People who have got ADHD, they cannot sit down. They are always impulsive. They are hyperactive. They are constantly fidgeting. They hardly concentrate. They've got excessive physical movement. They have constant chattering. They are very impulsive. Sometimes they don't have a sense of danger, but they also can bring a different like different personality into the workspace. They're also creative, they're resourceful, there are people that are willing to explore, and there are people that usually not so moody. Do we have a question so far? Are we clear? Can I continue?
Yes, Julie,
From
continue.
Yes, from
We
what
can
I've
ask
said, I was
questions
just
at the end.
yes. So far we are looking at the types of difficulties that are there in the workplaces that you would find in the workplace. And if you look at it as I'm saying it, it may seem like these are negative character traits, but it is not so. It is just a difference. It is very important for us to know that the differences in the way our brains are wired are not necessarily a bad thing. We have people that like, for instance, if you take somebody that has got ADHD, there are people that are not easy to manage. There are people that are usually they will be moving up and down the whole day, not doing much in the workplace. They are usually people who will be showing a wide range of emotion. So you can imagine if you have hired somebody that has got neurological differences. So we are continuing. So what is the problem with Alan? I've sent some slides. What is the danger or the problems that employers will have when they've got people that are neurodiverse? Sometimes the thing that employers struggle with is these people are usually very good when they give out interviews, but they seem to have difficulties when they are supposed to deliver. Sometimes they are stressed, even though they have the same workload as others. They are inconsistent with performance, and sometimes they seem like they lack empathy. There are people that, especially people with ADHD, they are people that would hardly show remorse. And sometimes they are people who seem like they hardly show remorse. They don't show empathy with with their co-workers. And sometimes there are those people who are inflexible, who do not want to bend at all. Like right now, we are running out of time. We are left with 20 minutes. There will be people who are so inflexible that they would not accept it if somebody moves, whether it's a can, whether it's a pen, from where they have kept it. Some of the people that have got these are people that are resistant to change. So you can also imagine if you have hired people that are resistant to change. When we live in a world like this, where the technology has taken over, and then you have got people that are that are resistant to change, or that are overly organized. The other thing that we must note is that simply because an employee does not do things the way neurotypical people do them, it doesn't mean that the job won't be done well. methodology should not be an issue, but as an employer, you must establish standards and you must set clear goals with clear deadlines, smart goals, such that even people that are neurodivergent can be able to deliver in the way their brain can deliver. So the other thing that we must know is that an employee that is neurodivergent cannot be forced to disclose their diversity. And even if they happen to disclose their diversity, according to the Disability Act, I don't know about Tanzania, but for Botswana, USA, and UK, they choose who they disclose the matter with. So that is the most frustrating thing, because the lack of performance or their mood swings can affect everybody else, but nobody can force them to disclose their difference. So what are some of the reasonable adjustments that can be done in the workplace? When it comes to reading, we can allow people to use voicemails or voice notes. We can allow people to give verbal instructions. We can give them plenty of time to read and complete a task. We can use digital recorders, or we can ask somebody to take minutes of the meetings. We can give instructions one at a time, just so that they are not loaded, because people with who are neurodivergent, usually most of them, they've got a weak working memory, meaning that they struggle with filing. And if it so happens that they file the information, they may struggle with retrieving it from their permanent memory. So there should always be some sort of like assistive technologies to help them. And also the instruction should be structured, and they should be one at a time. They should be cumulative, just so that they can understand, because somebody that is neurodivergent, you cannot send them to do 4 things at the same times. Some of the reasonable adjustments that you can make in the workplace is try to have visible landmarks, try to supply detailed maps, and try to present your things in drawings rather than in written form. All in all, neurodiversity is simply a different way of thinking. What we need to do is to have unity even in our diversities. Thank you very much. We are left with 15 minutes that I'll reserve for your questions.
Jiri, thank you so much. And thank you so much for an informative session. That's amazing. I have personally learned a lot. I'm sure the members in attendance have also learned a lot. I'm also grateful to Alim. Alim, I'm clapping for you. Thank you for jumping in and assisting to share the slides. I'm proud of you, Alim. Thank you for being so supportive. I'm welcoming any questions and additions from the audience. Most welcome, members, to ask or to add something. Anyone who has a question or an addition to this? Just to say that, Jiri, this is a very special presentation you've done. In our platform, we haven't covered neurodiversity at the workplace before. We've always featured on the teaching methods, on parents, on children, how we teach them in the environment. And basically, we've created awareness more than talking about neurodiversity in the workplace. So thank you so much. It's an amazing session we've had, one of its kind. And I can see, Alim, your hand is up. You're welcome, Alim.
I really disliked your presentation. Sorry to say. Okay? Because what you did was made a big stereotype, made a big stereotype that what you were trying to, what I understood from your presentation was people with disabilities should not be in the workplace. That's the message I got from you. Okay? I work with people who have neurodiversity issues, and I would like to share something which is really really important. I think that one thing you haven't mentioned is about having a health passport. Um, a health passport for those. I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna try to send you the link. Okay, a health passport is a document that you can have to understand, to make sure you understand the employee in the workplace. I put it in the chat. The document. It's on the website itself. It's called a health passport, and that document will allow you to understand how the person would um, like to be involved in the workplace, how to be interactive, what difficulties, and the manager should should able to assess this document and explain it to the rest of the teams. These are the difficulties. These are the reasonable adjustments which are going to be implemented. Yes, um, there is various technologies out there to help in the workplace. However, not all technologies would fit one person. I can go about it all day long if I want, or if I had the opportunity. So I'm gonna keep my mouth sealed for now, and that's it.
No comment. Well, sorry, Alim, you feel that way. I don't know what part of the presentation could have maybe was not clear enough, but we advocate for neurodiversity. We support neurodiversity. Diversity is simply a different way of thinking and doing things, and yeah, we advocating for diversities in the workplace because neurodivergent people, they bring creativity in workplaces. So yeah.
I think we just have a difference in opinion on what we have seen in the workplace. What is achievable and what isn't achievable.
Alim, I would like to get something very clear from you, Mr. Alim.
Yes.
There's the way you started your comment, it's like you seem to have disliked some part of the presentation from Jiri, right? Am I correct or I misunderstood
Yeah.
you?
mm, I what I found
Yeah.
is it's stereotyped people with ADHD. It's stereotyped people with dyslexia. It's stereotyped. mm, It felt like it was really targeted. That oh, you should not be in the workplace.
Mr. Alim, I think you to
So
say. I think you misunderstood her. She was for neurodivergent people. saying it's a different way of thinking. She even gave the accommodations on what should be done.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shut up because
you will even refer to the slides. I have the slides and you already have them. You helped us to show this. I'm sure you can slowly go through the slides and you will see that she's actually pro. She's supporting that people with neurodiverse, people who are neurodiverse can be accepted at the workplace, and they bring in something very unique. She even gave the way they think out of the box and the kind of thing. So I think you simply maybe missed something. I generally think that's what happened. Anyway, thank you so much, Alim. I know you have a lot of experience considering your position in the UK. I know you have a lot of experience working and you have a big position. And I think it's simply that you missed out on some point from Jiri, but I'm sure you will figure it out because you have the slides yourself. Thank you so much. I welcome any other person who would like to comment or ask a question. I personally have a question to you, Madam Jiri. Thank you again for the amazing presentation. How is your brother doing? Because you said you became a founder of